Pull up a seat, get comfortable, and plan to stay a while. Mercury's in Taurus for 2 months. What's up, everyone? We're back with another round of astrology shots to get us through the month of April. And April, maybe not as exciting as the month of March, but there's still plenty of excitement for us to get into. So today I want to start by talking to you all about Mercury. So Mercury, yep, we got another Mercury retrograde coming up, but don't worry, it's not happening today or this week, but Mercury does enter the sign of Taurus. That's happening on April 3rd. And Mercury's going to stay in the fixed Earth sign that's been getting a lot of action lately until June 11th. So this is a long time. At Mercury's fastest, it can clear a sign in 2 weeks, but right now, Mercury is going to spend over 2 months in the sign of Taurus. So Mercury rules communication, it rules the mind, things that we focus on, things that we would put our attention toward. And so we're going to kind of be slowing it down. That shift from Aries, which is quick and let's go for it, and just sort of something pops into your brain, we act on it. Like that's sort of been the energy of Mercury in Aries. With Taurus, there's a little bit more space for rumination. You know, we want to contemplate something. We want to feel it out. We want to take our time looking at it from different angles rather than Aries impulse acting on it. Something that I love about a Mercury in Taurus is the ability to deeply listen. You know, we're going to be slowing it down. We want to take our time, process, take things in, see how it feels in our body. That's something I love about the earth signs is they're just so embodied. And so we can become better listeners with Mercury in Taurus. The other thing, I've been thinking about this a lot as drag has been coming under attack by the GOP. How much joy the show RuPaul's Drag Race has brought to my life. You know, I tend to be a more serious person, just in nature and just with the things I tend to think about anyways. And how when I tune into that show, it transports me from anything that's been getting me down, anything that I've been worrying about, and how that show's been such an escape for me. And I've been thinking about that a lot in context with Mercury and Taurus, and how Mercury and Taurus, we want to think about the things that bring us peace. Okay, so this is your invitation. You know, what brings you peace? And with Mercury soon going retrograde in the sign of Taurus, we might be contemplating on a deeper level, what are the things that bring us peace of mind? I know that sometimes when we spend too much time on our screens, it can scramble our brains a little bit. Maybe Mercury in Taurus wants to be a little bit more aware of that effect and maybe do something a little bit about it. I think Mercury retrogrades are useful. A lot of people, and I know we're starting to come around, but you know, it's been trendy historically to freak out with Mercury retrograde, to freak out about it. Here's the thing, and any seasoned astrologer will tell you this, that Mercury retrograde will never destroy your life. It is simply an inconvenience, okay? And usually because Mercury's the magician. Mercury's the magician. Usually there's a hidden message. So if things start to go awry for you, if things aren't moving as quickly as you would like them to while you're sitting in traffic, what is the message? What is the alchemical, magical, mercurial message that the universe or the divine or your higher self, or however you want to frame that, has for you? And I think Mercury retrogrades are really helpful in inviting us to slow down a little bit more to get the message. You know, the universe tries to talk to us in a lot of ways. The numbers on the clock that you see all the time, the pennies that you keep finding, the signs that you get, the things that you perceive as a sign or distinctive. You know, Mercury retrogrades are helpful for us to slow down and really lean into that subtext and chew on it a little bit more. So a lot of times it's important to look for that. But back to Mercury and Taurus. So we're going to have 2 months of Mercury and Taurus. This is going to help us to be more methodical, more contemplative, more mindful. But yeah, like I think really focusing on the Venusian message of Taurus, which is pleasure and joy and being in the present, being in the present. So Mercury in Taurus, spending this 2 month stay with a retrograde, we're going to be coming a little bit more contemplative about what helps us stay in the present and what brings us joy. And it's not that we have to bypass the important things, because there's a lot of other astrology going on alongside this transit. We've got eclipses, there's some big stuff there. There's some serious stuff still on the table. But Mercury in Taurus wants to protect our peace in our mind. So what is it that you need to do for yourself to protect your peace? I know I've been talking a lot about the Instagram scammers because, me and my colleagues have been affected by it. I've chosen to put my account private. I feel like that's the best decision for me right now. I personally don't feel like I want to fork over $15 a month to a billionaire at this point in my life, but you never know, I might change my mind. And I respect the colleagues of mine who are choosing to pay that, because I know so many of them deal with these scam artists impersonating them. And so protect your peace. If that blue check mark of $15 a month is nothing, you know what I mean? Like if you have it, and it's what basically it's the energy exchange for your peace. All the power to you. I'm supportive of you on that. I just, little punk Catherine over here is like, yeah, not right now, but maybe I'll come around. So what are the things that protect our peace? I think with Mercury and Taurus, where, of course, anything with Mercury, where energy goes, energy flows. So less scattered is more. I think of Taurus as a really sensual sign. So being able to just like spend longer time, spending more time focusing on less things, basically. Like Mars is out of Gemini. Let's stop scattering ourselves. Let's concentrate our forces. Mercury and Taurus is here to help us with that. So we'll be talking a lot more about Mercury's upcoming retrograde. Let me just give you a few stats on that. Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde on April 21st at 15 degrees Taurus. Now, this is really significant for a couple reasons. One, this is happening the day after our very first eclipse in the sign of Aries. We're starting a whole new eclipse series. We'll talk more about that later. The degree that this is happening is an eclipse degree. If you think back to November 8th, we had an eclipse at 16 degrees Taurus. And that was conjunct Uranus. And right now, Mercury is going to be stationing in a conjunction with Uranus. So we're going to get sort of basically that degree is still sensitive. And we have another eclipse at that degree on May 5th. So this is a really sensitive eclipse degree. So there's going to be things, and we're in eclipse season. So the things that are happening and tied into this Mercury retrograde may be more than just Mercury retrograde stuff. They may be like big eclipse stories. Think back what was going on November 8th in your life, if that was a big one for you, but also what was going on in the world. That was an election day, and there was just a lot of stuff going on financially in the world at the time. I can remember with that eclipse with Venus. So we'll circle back to that one because we've got an eclipse coming up at that degree. But Mercury will then be stationing direct on May 14th at 5 degrees Taurus. That's another eclipse degree that hasn't happened yet. That eclipse will be on October 28th. So basically, this Mercury retrograde could be significant because it could be bringing up themes that we saw back in November, and also foreshadowing some things that we might be working with throughout the year. So these are really important things to be paying attention to at this time. So yeah, I'm curious to see what that looks like. One other thing I just want to mention here, if you're still with me, because Mercury right at the beginning of this ingress on April 3rd, it's going to square off with Pluto in Aquarius. we have not seen this combination yet before. Mercury square Pluto. Mercury square Pluto, that usually digs up some information, another side of something we haven't seen. That could be in the world, that could be in our personal lives. Mercury square Pluto is like, I need to know. But it's going to have a different twist on it. We've been working with Pluto in Capricorn. This is Pluto in Aquarius. So I'm interested to see, as an astrologer, I really just want to feel this one out. I really don't want to try to forecast too much of it yet, because I'm still getting to know what Pluto in Aquarius really feels like. I've written a lot about Pluto in Aquarius. You can check that out on my website. I also have some videos here on YouTube you can check out. But yeah, I kind of just want to do the Mercury and Taurus thing, be really present with that. So maybe you'll be able to tune in and feel that too. So for right now, this is your Mercury and Taurus forecast for the month of April, May, and that first third of June. So yeah, I hope it's really good for you and helps us to find our center again after 8 months of Mars in Gemini. So for right now, that's your astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also book your reading with me at catherineurban.com. And hey, you may also want to join Cauldron, my monthly astrology meetup.